What are 3 responsibilities of citizenship? A. Being loyal to Canada, recycling newspapers, serving in the Navy, Army, or Air Force. B. Obeying the law, taking responsibility for oneself and one's family, serving on a jury. C. Learning both official languages, voting in elections, belonging to a union. D. Buying Canadian products, owning your own business, using less water. The answer is B. Obeying the law, taking responsibility for oneself and one's family, serving on a jury. What is the meaning of the Remembrance Day poppy? A. To remember our sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II. B. To celebrate Confederation. C. To honor prime ministers who have died. D. To remember the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars up to the present day. The answer is D. To remember the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars up to the present day. When is Remembrance Day? A. November 11. B. October 31. C. December 1. D. November 1. The answer is A. November 11. How are members of Parliament chosen? A. They are appointed by the United Nations. B. They are chosen by the provincial premiers. C. They are elected by voters in their local constituency, riding. D. They are elected by landowners and police chiefs. The answer is C. They are elected by voters in their local constituency, riding. Who was Canada's first Prime Minister? A. Alexander Mackenzie. B. Wilfrid Laurier. C. Sir John Alexander Macdonald. D. Robert Borden. The answer is C. Sir John Alexander Macdonald. How many distinct regions does Canada have? A. 4. B. 5. C. 6. D. 7. The answer is B. 5. What are the 5 regions of Canada? A. The Atlantic Provinces, Central Canada, the Prairie Provinces, the West Coast, the Northern Territories. B. The Atlantic Provinces, Quebec, the Rocky Mountains, the Arctic Ocean, the Great Lakes. C. Central Canada, the Prairie Provinces, the Maritimes, the Pacific Ocean, the Yukon River. D. The West Coast, the Prairie Provinces, the Atlantic Provinces, Newfoundland, the Great Plains. The answer is A. The Atlantic Provinces, Central Canada, the Prairie Provinces, the West Coast, the Northern Territories. When is Canada Day? A. July 4. B. June 24. C. November 11. D. July 1. The answer is D. July 1. What is Canada's national winter sport? A. Lacrosse. B. Basketball. C. Hockey. D. Baseball. The answer is C. Hockey. Which of the following best describes Canada's system of government? A. A unitary state, a presidential democracy, and a republic. B. a federal state, a dictatorship, and a monarchy without constitution. C. A unitary state, a parliamentary democracy, and a constitutional monarchy. D. A federal state, a parliamentary democracy, and a constitutional monarchy. The answer is D. A federal state, a parliamentary democracy, and a constitutional monarchy. Who is credited with the invention of the telephone at his summer house in Canada? A. Alexander Graham Bell. B. Reginald Fessenden. C. Sir Sandford Fleming. D. Joseph Armand Bombardier. The answer is A. Alexander Graham Bell. Approximately how long is the Mackenzie River? A. 2000 km. B. 3000 km. C. 4200 km. D. 5000 km. The answer is C. 4200 km. Who invented the snowmobile, a lightweight winter vehicle? A. Matthew Evans. B. Joseph Armand Bombardier. C. Dr. John A. Hobbs. D. Mike Lazaridis. The answer is B. Joseph Armand Bombardier. About how many Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in the Second World War? A. 500,000. B. More than 1 million. C. More than 2 million. D. 5 million. The answer is B. More than 1 million. Who invented the worldwide system of standard time zones? A. Dr. Wilder Penfield. B. Alexander Graham Bell. C. Henry Woodward. D. Sir Sandford Fleming. The answer is D. Sir Sandford Fleming. Who wrote the famous poem In Flanders Fields in 1915, often recited on Remembrance Day? A. Wilfred Owen. B. Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. C. Robert Ross. D. Paul Triquet. The answer is B. Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. Who invented the first electric light bulb and later sold the patent to Thomas Edison? A. Alexander Graham Bell and Joseph Bombardier. B. Mike Lazaridis and Jim Balsillie. C. Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward. D. Henry Woodward and Jim Balsillie. The answer is C. Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward. What was the result of the Royal Commission on Bilingualism and Biculturalism? A. The Constitution Act of 1982. B. The Official Languages Act of 1969. C. The Clarity Act. D. The War Measures Act. The answer is B. The Official Languages Act of 1969. Who sent the first wireless voice message in the world, contributing to the invention of radio? A. Reginald Fessenden. B. Sir Sandford Fleming. C. Dr. Wilder Penfield. D. Dr. John A. Hobbs. The answer is A. Reginald Fessenden. Where is the largest French-speaking population outside Quebec located? A. British Columbia. B. Manitoba. C. Ontario. D. Alberta. The answer is C. Ontario. Who was a pioneering brain surgeon at McGill University in Montreal, known as the greatest living Canadian? A. Dr. John A. Hobbs. B. Mike Lazaridis. C. Joseph Armand Bombardier. D. Dr. Wilder Penfield. The answer is D. Dr. Wilder Penfield. How many Canadians have been awarded the Victoria Cross since 1854? A. 72. B. 101. C. 120. D. 96. The answer is D. 96. Who invented the first cardiac pacemaker? A. Reginald Fessenden. B. Sir Sandford Fleming. C. Dr. John A. Hobbs. D. Henry Woodward. The answer is C. Dr. John A. Hobbs. Why is Canada often referred to as a land of immigrants? A. Because Canada has the largest Indigenous population in the world. B. Because millions of newcomers have helped to build and defend Canada's way of life over the past 200 years. C. Because only immigrants are allowed to vote in Canada. D. Because immigration to Canada began only after World War II. The answer is B. Because millions of newcomers have helped to build and defend Canada's way of life over the past 200 years. What was invented by Spar Aerospace and the National Research Council, NRC? A. The Canadarm. B. The Blackberry. C. The snowmobile. D. The light bulb. The answer is A. The Canadarm. What can you do if you have concerns about police service or conduct in Canada? A. Nothing. Citizens cannot question the police. B. Only the government can question police conduct. C. You can bring your concerns to the police through an official process. D. You must go directly to court without speaking to the police. The answer is C. You can bring your concerns to the police through an official process. Which Canadian company is known for inventing the BlackBerry? A. Spar Aerospace. B. Research in Motion, RIM. C. McGill University. D. National Research Council. The answer is B. Research in Motion, RIM. How many provinces and territories does Canada have? A. 9 provinces and 2 territories. B. 10 provinces and 3 territories. C. 11 provinces and 2 territories. D. 12 provinces and 3 territories. The answer is B. 10 provinces and 3 territories. Who invented the BlackBerry smartphone? A. Alexander Graham Bell and Joseph Armand Bombardier. B. Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward. C. Mike Lazaridis and Jim Balsillie. D. Reginald Fessenden and Sir Sandford Fleming. The answer is C. Mike Lazaridis and Jim Balsillie. What is the capital city of New Brunswick? A. St. John. B. Fredericton. C. Moncton. D. Halifax. The answer is B. Fredericton. What are the provinces of the Atlantic provinces? A. Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. B. Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. C. British Columbia, Yukon, Alberta, Saskatchewan. D. Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Yukon. The answer is A. Newfoundland and Labrador, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. Which activity is an example of helping others in the community? A. Working overtime at a job. B. Paying taxes. C. Volunteering at a food bank. D. Buying Canadian products. The answer is C. Volunteering at a food bank. Traditionally, the term Indian referred to which group of people in Canada? A. Only Inuit. B. Only Métis. C. All Indigenous people worldwide. D. All Aboriginal people who are not Inuit or Métis. The answer is D. All Aboriginal people who are not Inuit or Métis. What is the highest military honor available to Canadians, awarded for exceptional bravery or self-sacrifice in the presence of the enemy? A. The Order of Canada. B. The Medal of Bravery. C. The Victoria Cross. D. The Canadian Forces Decoration. The answer is C. The Victoria Cross. Which city in Quebec is Canada's second largest and the second largest mainly French-speaking city in the world after Paris? A. Quebec City. B. Ottawa. C. Gatineau. D. Montreal. The answer is D. Montreal. What is the highest court in Canada? A. The Federal Court of Canada. B. The Supreme Court of Canada. C. The Court of Appeal. D. The Provincial Court. The answer is B. The Supreme Court of Canada. What percentage of Canadian exports go to the United States? A. Over 3/4. B. About 50%. C. About 1/4. D. Less than 10%. The answer is A. Over 3/4. Which cultural group represents 14% of Manitoba's population by origin? A. German. B. Scottish. C. Ukrainian. D. Polish. The answer is C. Ukrainian. What are the territories of the North? A. Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Yukon. B. Quebec, Ontario, Alberta. C. Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. D. British Columbia, Manitoba, Saskatchewan. The answer is A. Nunavut, Northwest Territories, Yukon. Who was the Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada who led the first move toward abolition in 1793? A. Samuel de Champlain. B. John Graves Simcoe. C. Martin Frobisher. D. Sir John A. Macdonald. The answer is B. John Graves Simcoe. What is one of the main privileges of Canadian citizenship? A. The right to vote. B. The right to free healthcare. C. The right to hold dual citizenship. D. the right to travel abroad without a passport. The answer is A. The right to vote. What are the provinces of central Canada? A. Manitoba and Saskatchewan. B. Quebec and Ontario. C. British Columbia and Alberta. D. Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. The answer is B. Quebec and Ontario. Which province is the only officially bilingual province in Canada? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. New Brunswick. D. Nova Scotia. The answer is C. New Brunswick. What are the three parts of the Parliament of Canada? A. The Sovereign, the Senate, and the House of Commons. B. The Prime Minister, the Cabinet, and the Senate. C. The Governor-General, the House of Commons, and the provinces. D. The House of Commons, the Cabinet, and the courts. The answer is A. The Sovereign, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Approximately how many people live in Quebec? A. 5 million. B. 8 million. C. 10 million. D. 12 million. The answer is B. 8 million. What is the rank of Canada in size compared to other countries in the world? A. First. B. Third. C. Second. D. Fourth. The answer is C. Second. What are the provinces of the Prairie Provinces? A. Quebec, Ontario, Nova Scotia. B. Yukon, Nunavut, Northwest Territories. C. British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario. D. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. The answer is D. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. What flag served as Canada's flag for about 100 years before 1965? A. Union Jack. B. Maple leaf. C. Canadian Red Ensign. D. Provincial and territorial flags. The answer is C. Canadian Red Ensign. Who is eligible to vote in a federal election or to cast a ballot in a federal referendum in Canada? A. A Canadian citizen at least 18 years old. B. Any permanent resident over 21 years old. C. Any person living in Canada for more than 5 years. D. A Canadian citizen at least 16 years old. The answer is A. A Canadian citizen at least 18 years old. What is an official language of Nunavut and the first language in schools? A. English. B. Inuktitut. C. French. D. Cree. The answer is B. Inuktitut. What is the province of the West Coast? A. Alberta. B. Ontario. C. British Columbia. D. Nova Scotia. The answer is C. British Columbia. Who were the first women allowed to vote in Canadian federal elections in 1917? A. All Canadian women over 18. B. Nurses at the battlefront. C. Women who owned property. D. Women working in factories. The answer is B. Nurses at the battlefront. What was the head tax imposed on Chinese immigrants? A. A fee for railway tickets. B. A tax for all new settlers. C. A race-based entry fee. D. A property tax. The answer is C. A race-based entry fee. Quebec is Canada's largest producer of which resource? A. Oil. B. Pulp and paper. C. Wheat. D. Gold. The answer is B. Pulp and paper. What is the highest mountain in Canada? A. Mount Logan. B. Mount Robson. C. Mount Columbia. D. Mount Fairweather. The answer is A. Mount Logan. In what year did Quebec grant women the right to vote? A. 1916. B. 1921. C. 1935. D. 1940. The answer is D. 1940. What is the role of each provincial and territorial legislature in Canada? A. To elect the Prime Minister of Canada. B. To pass provincial and territorial laws. C. To create international treaties. D. To manage federal elections. The answer is B. To pass provincial and territorial laws. What is the name of the second longest river system in North America that flows through the Northwest Territories? A. Yukon River. B. Fraser River. C. Mackenzie River. D. St. Lawrence River. The answer is C. Mackenzie River. When was the Magna Carta signed? A. 1066. B. 1492. C. 1776. D. 1215. The answer is D. 1215. What is the majority language spoken by Quebecers? A. French. B. English. C. Spanish. D. Indigenous languages. The answer is A. French. Which of the following are considered unacceptable and illegal cultural practices in Canada? A. Spousal abuse. B. Honor killings. C. Female genital mutilation. D. Forced marriage. E. All of the above. The answer is E. All of the above. Which country did the Canadian Army liberate in 1944–45? A. France. B. Italy. C. The Netherlands. D. Belgium. The answer is C. The Netherlands. What is another name for the Magna Carta? A. The Great Charter of Freedoms. B. The Bill of Rights. C. The Constitution Act. D. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms. The answer is A. The Great Charter of Freedoms. How many Canadians were wounded in the First World War? A. 60,000. B. 90,000. C. 170000. D. 200000. The answer is C. 170000. What did the House of Commons recognize about the Québécois in 2006? A. That the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada. B. That Quebec should separate from Canada. C. That French should be Canada's only official language. D. That Montreal is the capital of Canada. The answer is A. That the Quebecois form a nation within a united Canada. In which provinces does the RCMP not serve as the provincial police? A. British Columbia and Alberta. B. Ontario and Quebec. C. Manitoba and New Brunswick. D. Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. The answer is B. Ontario and Quebec. Which province is the only officially bilingual province in Canada? A. Quebec. B. Ontario. C. Manitoba. D. New Brunswick. The answer is D. New Brunswick. Who are Quebecers? A. The people of Quebec, the vast majority French-speaking. B. The people of Ontario, the vast majority English-speaking. C. The people of Quebec, the vast majority English-speaking. D. The people of Ontario, the vast majority French-speaking. The answer is A. The people of Quebec, the vast majority French-speaking. What does habeas corpus mean in Canadian law? A. The right to vote in elections. B. The right to free healthcare. C. The right to challenge unlawful detention by the state. D. The right to freedom of religion. The answer is C. The right to challenge unlawful detention by the state. What comes with the right to vote in Canada? A. The responsibility to vote in elections. B. The duty to run as a candidate. C. The duty to campaign for a party. D. The responsibility to pay fines. The answer is A. The responsibility to vote in elections. In what year was Nunavut established as a territory? A. 1867. B. 1949. C. 1999. D. 2005. The answer is C. 1999. Who are the Acadians? A. Descendants of British settlers who colonized Ontario in 1759. B. Descendants of Scottish immigrants who moved to Western Canada in the 1800s. C. Descendants of French colonists who settled in the Maritime provinces in 1604. D. Descendants of Indigenous peoples from the Prairie provinces. The answer is C. Descendants of French colonists who settled in the Maritime provinces in 1604. Who was the last Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross to date? A. William Hall. B. Robert Hampton Gray. C. Philip Connowell. D. Paul Triquet. The answer is B. Robert Hampton Gray. What region is known as Canada's industrial and manufacturing heartland? A. Atlantic Canada. B. Northern Territories. C. The Pacific Coast. D. Central Canada. The answer is D. Central Canada. Under whose government did women first gain the right to vote in federal elections in 1917? A. Sir Wilfrid Laurier. B. Sir John A. Macdonald. C. Sir Robert Borden. D. William Lyon Mackenzie King. The answer is C. Sir Robert Borden. What does the Official Languages Act guarantee? A. French and English services in the federal government across Canada. B. English only in government services. C. French only in Quebec. D. Bilingualism only in New Brunswick. The answer is A. French and English services in the federal government across Canada. What percentage of Aboriginal people in Canada are First Nations? A. 50%. B. 30%. C. 4%. D. 65%. The answer is D. 65%. What are members of a provincial or territorial legislature generally called? A. Members of Parliament, MPs. B. Senators. C. Members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs. D. Governors. The answer is C. Members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs. What symbol do Canadians wear on Remembrance Day to honor veterans and the fallen? A. Red poppy. B. Maple leaf. C. White lily. D. Fleur-de-lis. The answer is A. Red poppy. When was the Constitution of Canada amended to include the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? A. 1867. B. 1982. C. 1931. D. 1999. The answer is B. 1982. Which is the most populous Atlantic province? A. Newfoundland and Labrador. B. Nova Scotia. C. Prince Edward Island. D. New Brunswick. The answer is B. Nova Scotia. What area in Alberta contains some of the world's richest deposits of prehistoric fossils and dinosaur finds? A. The Canadian Shield. B. The Prairies. C. The Badlands. D. The Rocky Mountains. The answer is C. The Badlands. Who are generally referred to as English Canadians? A. Anglophones, English speakers. B. Francophones. C. Indigenous peoples. D. Immigrants from Asia. The answer is A. Anglophones, English speakers. When was O Canada proclaimed as the national anthem? A. 1867. B. 1880. C. 2000. D. 1980. The answer is D. 1980. What causes did the provincial freemen support? A. Anti-slavery, black immigration to Canada, temperance, and British rule. B. Free trade, Confederation, women's suffrage, and republicanism. C. Education reform, Indigenous rights, feminism, and independence from Britain. D. Agriculture, forestry, mining, and tourism. The answer is A. Anti-slavery, black immigration to Canada, temperance, and British rule. What is the port of Vancouver known as? A. Canada's gateway to Europe. B. Canada's gateway to the Asia-Pacific. C. The busiest inland port in Canada. D. The country's oldest seaport. The answer is B. Canada's gateway to the Asia-Pacific. What battle did Laura Secourt's warning help lead to victory in 1813? A. Battle of Queenston Heights. B. Battle of Vimy Ridge. C. Battle of York. D. Battle of Beaver Dams. The answer is D. Battle of Beaver Dams. Which of the following correctly shows the approximate distribution of Aboriginal peoples in Canada? A. 60% Inuit, 30% First Nations, 10% Métis. B. 50% Métis, 40% First Nations, 10% Inuit. C. 65% First Nations, 30% Métis, 4% Inuit. D. 70% First Nations, 20% Métis, 10% Inuit. The answer is C. 65% First Nations, 30% Métis, 4% Inuit. What is the capital city of Canada? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Vancouver. The answer is A. Ottawa. Which is the largest city in Saskatchewan, known as the headquarters of the mining industry and a research and technology center? A. Regina. B. Saskatoon. C. Moose Jaw. D. Swift Current. The answer is B. Saskatoon. What is the largest religious affiliation in Canada? A. Catholic. B. Protestant. C. Jewish. D. Muslim. The answer is A. Catholic. What share of Canada's manufactured goods are produced by Ontario and Quebec together? A. 1/4. B. Half. C. More than 3/4. D. Almost all. The answer is C. More than 3/4. Who was the first member of the Canadian Corps not born in the British Empire to be awarded the Victoria Cross? A. William Hall. B. Philip Connowell. C. Billy Bishop. D. Robert Hampton Gray. The answer is B. Philip Connowell. Who chose Ottawa as the capital of Canada in 1857? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Sir John A. Macdonald. D. William Lyon Mackenzie King. The answer is A. Queen Victoria. In what year did Upper Canada become the first province in the British Empire to move toward abolition of slavery? A. 1776. B. 1793. C. 1807. D. 1833. The answer is B. 1793. What does Canada's national motto "A mare usque ad mare" mean in Latin? A. Strong and free. B. True north. C. Land of opportunity. D. From sea to sea. The answer is D. From sea to sea. Where was O Canada first sung? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Quebec City. D. Montreal. The answer is C. Quebec City. Who becomes the Prime Minister of Canada after a federal election? A. The Governor-General. B. The leader of the political party with the most seats in the House of Commons. C. The Speaker of the House of Commons. D. The Chief Justice of Canada. The answer is B. The leader of the political party with the most seats in the House of Commons. What proportion of Canadians live in Ontario? A. About 1/3. B. About 1/4. C. About 1/2. D. About 2/3. The answer is A. About 1/3. What did Sir Wilfrid Laurier encourage during his time as Prime Minister? A. The building of the Canadian Pacific Railway. B. Immigration to the West. C. Confederation with Newfoundland. D. The abolition of slavery. The answer is B. Immigration to the West. Who donated the Stanley Cup in 1892? A. John A. Macdonald. B. Queen Victoria. C. Lord Stanley, the Governor-General. D. Adrian Clarkson. The answer is C. Lord Stanley, the Governor-General. Who was the first to map Canada's Atlantic shore in 1497? A. Jacques Cartier. B. Samuel de Champlain. C. Sir Francis Drake. D. John Cabot. The answer is D. John Cabot. Which European explorers reached Labrador and Newfoundland about 1,000 years ago? A. The Vikings from Iceland. B. The French. C. The British. D. The Spanish. The answer is A. The Vikings from Iceland. What is Canada's national motto? A. In God we trust. B. Strong and free. C. True North. D. A mari usque ad mare. The answer is D. A mari usque ad mare. What is the deportation of the Acadians during 1755–1763 known as? A. The Quiet Revolution. B. The War of 1812. C. The Great Upheaval. D. Confederation. The answer is C. The Great Upheaval. What part of the original Parliament buildings survived the fire of 1916? A. The Centre Block. B. The Peace Tower. C. The Library. D. The Memorial Chamber. The answer is C. The Library. About how many annual festivals are celebrated in Nova Scotia? A. 100. B. 250. C. 500. D. Over 700. The answer is D. Over 700. At what time and date do Canadians observe a moment of silence on Remembrance Day? A. At noon on July 1st. B. At 11 p.m. on December 31st. C. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. D. At 10 a.m. on May 8th. The answer is C. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. What are the 5 Great Lakes located between Ontario and the United States? A. Lake Winnipeg, Lake Athabasca, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron. B. Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, and Lake Superior. C. Lake Superior, Lake Manitoba, Lake Erie, Lake Simcoe, Lake Ontario. D. Lake Tahoe, Lake Michigan, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron. The answer is B. Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, and Lake Superior. Which of the following is a responsibility of the federal government in Canada? A. Education. B. Health. C. Defense. D. Property and civil rights. The answer is C. Defense. Which poet celebrated the Yukon Gold Rush in his writings? A. Robert Frost. B. Robert W. Service. C. Leonard Cohen. D. William Blake. The answer is B. Robert W. Service. What is the most populous city in Manitoba? A. Brandon. B. Churchill. C. Winnipeg. D. Thompson. The answer is C. Winnipeg. Who helped build the Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR? A. Only Indigenous workers. B. Only British workers. C. Both European and Chinese labor. D. Only Canadian soldiers. The answer is C. Both European and Chinese labor. What is the capital city of Ontario? A. Ottawa. B. Montreal. C. Toronto. D. Vancouver. The answer is C. Toronto. To become a Canadian citizen, which language requirement must be met? A. Applicants must know both English and French. B. Applicants must have adequate knowledge of either English or French. C. Applicants can choose any language they prefer. D. Applicants are not required to know any language. The answer is B. Applicants must have adequate knowledge of either English or French. In which year were the responsibilities of federal and provincial governments defined? A. 1841. B. 1871. C. 1867. D. 1905. The answer is C. 1867. Who is the head of government in Canada? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Sovereign. C. The Governor-General. D. The Lieutenant Governor. The answer is A. The Prime Minister. Which animal is a symbol of Canada and appears on the 5-cent coin? A. Moose. B. Beaver. C. Bear. D. Eagle. The answer is B. Beaver. What is the official summer sport of Canada? A. Soccer. B. Canadian football. C. Curling. D. Lacrosse. The answer is D. Lacrosse. What principle is the Canadian justice system founded on in criminal matters? A. Everyone is guilty until proven innocent. B. the accused must prove their innocence. C. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. D. Judges decide guilt without evidence. The answer is C. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. What was the original name of today's RCMP, created in 1873 to pacify the West? A. Dominion Mounted Forces, DMF. B. Canadian Frontier Police, CFP. C. Prairie Constabulary, PC. D. Northwest Mounted Police, NWMP. The answer is D. Northwest Mounted Police, NWMP. What did John Buchan believe about immigrant groups in Canada? A. They should all abandon their individuality. B. They should retain their individuality and contribute to the national character. C. They should remain separate and not integrate into society. D. They should only adopt English traditions. The answer is B. They should retain their individuality and contribute to the national character. What were the skilled men who traveled by canoe and traded with First Nations called? A. Voyageurs and coureurs des bois. B. Farmers. C. Settlers. D. Colonists. The answer is A. Voyageurs and coureurs des bois. Which groups of people helped establish the basic way of life in English-speaking areas of Canada? A. French, Italian, German, and Dutch settlers. B. Inuit, Métis, and First Nations only. C. English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish settlers. D. Spanish, Portuguese, and Scandinavian settlers. The answer is C. English, Welsh, Scottish, and Irish settlers. What nickname was given to the more than 3,000 nurses who served in the Royal Canadian Army Medical Corps? A. Nightingales. B. Angels. C. Bluebirds. D. Red Cross women. The answer is C. Bluebirds. What was the British North America Act of 1867 renamed to? A. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. B. The Government of Canada Act. C. The Statute of Westminster. D. The Constitution Act, 1867. The answer is D. The Constitution Act, 1867. Which of the following is normally a responsibility of municipal governments in Canada? A. National defense. B. Immigration. C. Garbage removal, snow removal, firefighting, and public transit. D. Foreign affairs. The answer is C. Garbage removal, snow removal, firefighting, and public transit. Who are the elected officials at the federal level? A. Councillors or aldermen. B. Members of the Legislative Assembly, MLAs. C. Members of the Provincial Parliament, MPPs. D. Members of Parliament, MPs. The answer is D. Members of Parliament, MPs. What neutral agency of Parliament manages the National Register of Electors and conducts federal elections in Canada? A. Elections Canada. B. the Supreme Court of Canada. C. The Prime Minister's Office. D. The Governor-General's Office. The answer is A. Elections Canada. For which king did Jacques Cartier claim land in North America? A. King Louis XIV. B. King George III. C. King Francis I of France. D. King Henry VIII. The answer is C. King Francis I of France. What was the South African War, 1899–1902, popularly known as? A. The Boer War. B. The Great War. C. The Crimean War. D. The Zulu War. The answer is A. The Boer War. How are the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, commonly known? A. Riders. B. Patrols. C. Officers. D. Mounties. The answer is D. Mounties. What are members of the legislature called in Quebec? A. Malays, members of the Legislative Assembly. B. MNAs, members of the National Assembly. C. MPPs, members of Provincial Parliament. D. MHAs, members of the House of Assembly. The answer is B. MNAs, members of the National Assembly. Who were the people loyal to the Crown that fled the American Revolution to settle in Nova Scotia and Quebec? A. Patriots. B. Rebels. C. Colonists. D. Loyalists. The answer is D. Loyalists. About one-half of the goods produced in BC come from which industry? A. Mining. B. Fishing. C. Forestry. D. Agriculture. The answer is C. Forestry. Who was Sir George Etienne Cartier? A. A Prime Minister of Canada. B. A key architect of Confederation from Quebec. C. A Governor-General of Canada. D. A Supreme Court Judge. The answer is B. A key architect of Confederation from Quebec. When is Sir John A. Macdonald Day celebrated in Canada? A. July 1. B. November 11. C. December 25. D. January 11. The answer is D. January 11. Which responsibilities are shared between the federal and provincial governments? A. Defense and policing. B. Immigration, agriculture, and the environment. C. Education and health care. D. Highways and local transport. The answer is B. Immigration, agriculture, and the environment. What does RCMP stand for? A. Royal Canadian Maritime Patrol. B. Regional Canadian Military Police. C. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. D. Royal Confederation Mounted Patrol. The answer is C. Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Which three major political parties are currently represented in the House of Commons? A. Conservative Party, New Democratic Party, and Liberal Party. B. Green Party, Bloc Québécois, People's Party. C. Liberal Party, Reform Party, Progressive Conservative Party. D. Communist Party, Liberal Party, Green Party? The answer is A. Conservative Party, New Democratic Party, and Liberal Party. Which province adopted its own flag in 1948, based on the cross and the fleur-de-lis? A. Ontario. B. Quebec. C. Nova Scotia. D. Manitoba. The answer is B. Quebec. After Catholicism, which group of churches has the next largest affiliation in Canada? A. Orthodox churches. B. Buddhist temples. C. Protestant churches. D. Hindu temples. The answer is C. Protestant churches. Which city is the principal Francophone Acadian centre in New Brunswick? A. Fredericton. B. Moncton. C. St. John. D. Charlottetown. The answer is B. Moncton. What does the crown symbolize in Canada? A. Only the monarchy itself. B. Independence from Britain. C. The Senate only. D. Government institutions such as Parliament, legislatures, courts, police, and the Canadian forces. The answer is D. Government institutions such as Parliament, legislatures, courts, police, and the Canadian forces. Which level of government is responsible for snow removal, recycling programs, and firefighting? A. Federal. B. Provincial. C. Municipal, local. D. International. The answer is C. Municipal, local. What service is available in most communities if you cannot afford a lawyer? A. Public defenders from the United States. B. Legal aid services, free or at low cost. C. Advice only from family and friends. D. Immigration consultants. The answer is B. Legal aid services, free or at low cost. What industries are important in the Atlantic provinces due to their coasts and natural resources? A. Fishing, farming, forestry, and mining. B. Oil, technology, car manufacturing, and tourism. C. Banking, film industry, fashion, and aerospace. D. Agriculture, electronics, aviation, and textiles. The answer is A. Fishing, farming, forestry, and mining. Who were the Fathers of Confederation? A. The first Prime Ministers of Canada. B. Leaders of Aboriginal nations. C. Representatives from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the Province of Canada who created a new country with British support. D. British soldiers who defended Canada. The answer is C. Representatives from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and the Province of Canada who created a new country with British support. What remains a significant part of the Yukon's economy today? A. Forestry. B. Fishing. C. Aerospace. D. Mining. The answer is D. Mining. What industries have been historically important to Newfoundland and Labrador? A. Banking and aerospace. B. Fisheries and coastal fishing villages. C. Technology and car manufacturing. D. Agriculture and textiles. The answer is B. Fisheries and coastal fishing villages. In what year did Parliament pass the Official Languages Act? A. 1969. B. 2000. C. 1867. D. 1982. The answer is A. 1969. What is the effort by women to achieve the right to vote called? A. Women's Rights Campaign. B. Feminist Revolution. C. Women's Suffrage Movement. D. Equality Act. The answer is C. Women's Suffrage Movement. What are members of the legislature called in Ontario? A. Malays members of the Legislative Assembly. B. MPPs members of Provincial Parliament. C. MNAs members of the National Assembly. D. MHAs members of the House of Assembly. The answer is B. MPPs members of Provincial Parliament. At what minimum age are Canadian citizens eligible to be listed in the National Register of Electors and vote in federal elections? A. 16 years old. B. 21 years old. C. 18 years old. D. 25 years old. The answer is C. 18 years old. Which groups make up more than half of the population of the Northwest Territories? A. Dene, Inuit, and Métis. B. French, English, and German. C. Cree, Haida, and Mohawk. D. Scottish, Irish, and Italian. The answer is A. Dene, Inuit, and Métis. What is the approximate population of Canada? A. 25 million. B. 30 million. C. 40 million. D. 34 million. The answer is D. 34 million. Which four provinces formed Confederation in 1867? A. Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia. B. Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. C. Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Quebec. D. Newfoundland, Ontario, Quebec, New Brunswick. The answer is B. Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick. From which continent are the ancestors of Aboriginal peoples believed to have migrated to North America? A. Africa. B. Asia. C. Europe. D. South America. The answer is B. Asia. What name became official after the Constitutional Act of 1791 and has been used ever since? A. British North America. B. The Dominion. C. Canada. D. New France. The answer is C. Canada. What is every Canadian legally required to do when called upon by the justice system? A. Pay taxes. B. Serve on a jury. C. Volunteer at a charity. D. Run for public office. The answer is B. Serve on a jury. How often must federal elections be held in Canada under the law? A. Every 2 years. B. Every 3 years. C. Every 4 years. D. Every 5 years. The answer is C. Every 4 years. Quebecers are leaders in which cutting-edge industries? A. Textiles and winemaking. B. Electronics and tourism. C. Pharmaceuticals and aeronautics. D. Fashion and gold mining. The answer is C. Pharmaceuticals and aeronautics. Who founded Quebec City in 1608 by building a fortress there? A. Samuel de Champlain. B. Pierre de Monts. C. Jean Talon. D. Count Frontenac. The answer is A. Samuel de Champlain. In which territory is Mount Logan located? A. British Columbia. B. Yukon. C. Alberta. D. Northwest Territories. The answer is B. Yukon. Approximately what percentage of Nunavut's population is Inuit? A. 50%. B. 70%. C. 85%. D. 95%. The answer is C. 85%. About how many Canadians volunteered to fight in the Boer War? A. 700. B. Over 1,500. C. 20,000. D. Over 7,000. The answer is D. Over 7,000. What must you bring with you to the polling station on election day? A. Only your passport. B. Only your health card. C. Nothing, just your name. D. Your voter information card and proof of identity and address. The answer is D. Your voter information card and proof of identity and address. Who invites the leader of the winning party to form the government? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Senate. C. The Governor-General. D. The Provincial Premiers. The answer is C. The Governor-General. What is the capital of Nunavut? A. Yellowknife. B. Whitehorse. C. Frobisher Bay. D. Iqaluit. The answer is D. Iqaluit. Since when has Canada been a constitutional monarchy in its own right? A. 1763. B. 1812. C. 1867. D. 1982. The answer is C. 1867. Who are the Métis? A. A distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. B. A group of only French settlers in Quebec. C. A community of Inuit hunters in the Arctic. D. A nation of British colonists in Ontario. The answer is A. A distinct people of mixed Aboriginal and European ancestry. Who was John Buchan, 1st Baron Tweedsmuir? A. A Canadian Prime Minister. B. A British explorer. C. A Governor-General of Canada from 1935 to 1940. D. The first Chief Justice of Canada. The answer is C. A Governor-General of Canada from 1935 to 1940. What type of energy does Quebec produce the most in Canada? A. Nuclear power. B. Hydroelectricity. C. Solar power. D. Wind power. The answer is B. Hydroelectricity. Who was Terry Fox? A. A Canadian hero who began the Marathon of Hope to raise money for cancer research. B. The first Canadian astronaut. C. A Prime Minister of Canada. D. A Canadian Olympic gold medalist. The answer is A. A Canadian hero who began the Marathon of Hope to raise money for cancer research. Who was the first Canadian to be awarded the Victoria Cross? A. William Hall. B. Alexander Roberts Dunn. C. Billy Bishop. D. Paul Triquet. The answer is B. Alexander Roberts Dunn. In which region of Canada do the majority of the Métis live? A. The Atlantic Provinces. B. The Northern Territories. C. The West Coast. D. The Prairie Provinces. The answer is D. The Prairie Provinces. What symbols are included in Canada's coat of arms along with red maple leaves? A. Symbols of Indigenous peoples. B. Symbols of England, France, Scotland, and Ireland. C. Symbols of the United States and Mexico. D. Symbols of the provinces and territories. The answer is B. Symbols of England, France, Scotland, and Ireland. What do the books of remembrance in the Memorial Chamber contain? A. The names of Canada's Prime Ministers. B. The history of Parliament. C. The names of soldiers, sailors, and airmen who died serving Canada. D. The Constitution Act. The answer is C. The names of soldiers, sailors, and airmen who died serving Canada. What is the largest city in Canada and the country's main financial centre? A. Ottawa. B. Toronto. C. Montreal. D. Vancouver. The answer is B. Toronto. Where was the first representative assembly in what is now Canada elected? A. Halifax, Nova Scotia. B. Quebec City. C. Toronto, Ontario. D. Montreal. The answer is A. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Which province was the last to join Confederation, in 1949? A. Nunavut. B. Newfoundland and Labrador. C. Saskatchewan. D. Yukon. The answer is B. Newfoundland and Labrador. What is the name of the dialect traditionally spoken by the Métis? A. Inuttitut. B. Cree. C. Michif. D. Gaelic. The answer is C. Michif. Alberta is Canada's largest producer of which natural resources? A. Oil and gas. B. Coal and uranium. C. Gold and silver. D. Hydroelectric power. The answer is A. Oil and gas. Which of the following areas are shared responsibilities between the federal and provincial governments? A. Criminal law and highways. B. Navigation and citizenship. C. Natural resources and education. D. Agriculture and immigration. The answer is D. Agriculture and immigration. How long is the usual term of a Governor-General in Canada? A. 2 years. B. 5 years. C. 7 years. D. 10 years. The answer is B. 5 years. Who were the French-speaking Catholic people in the province of Quebec? A. Loyalists. B. English settlers. C. Habitants or Canadians. D. Métis. The answer is C. Habitants or Canadians. What does the term Anglophone mean in Canada? A. A person who speaks French as a first language. B. A person who speaks English as a first language. C. A person who speaks both English and French. D. A person who speaks an Indigenous language. The answer is B. A person who speaks English as a first language. What is the capital city of the province of Quebec? A. Montreal. B. Ottawa. C. Laval. D. Quebec City. The answer is D. Quebec City. What is the name of the river system in New Brunswick, the second largest on North America's Atlantic coastline? A. St. Lawrence River. B. Ottawa River. C. St. John River System. D. Fraser River. The answer is C. St. John River System. What percentage of Canadians work in service industries? A. 25%. B. 50%. C. 10%. D. More than 75%. The answer is D. More than 75%. What was mostly prohibited in residential schools? A. Aboriginal languages and cultural practices. B. Reading and writing. C. Sports and games. D. English and French. The answer is A. Aboriginal languages and cultural practices. From which backgrounds do the Métis come? A. Only French-speaking background. B. Only English-speaking background. C. Both French and English-speaking backgrounds. D. Indigenous and English-speaking backgrounds. The answer is C. Both French and English-speaking backgrounds. What is the name of the most famous street intersection in Canada, located in Winnipeg's Exchange District? A. Portage and Main. B. Yonge and Dundas. C. Sparks and Elgin. D. Robson and Granville. The answer is A. Portage and Main. What is the most easterly point in North America and has its own time zone? A. Nova Scotia. B. Prince Edward Island. C. Newfoundland and Labrador. D. New Brunswick. The answer is C. Newfoundland and Labrador. When did the British Parliament prohibit the buying and selling of slaves? A. 1793. B. 1807. C. 1812. D. 1833. The answer is B. 1807. Who founded the women's suffrage movement in Canada? A. Agnes MacPhail. B. Nellie McClung. C. Dr. Emily Stowe. D. Lucy Maud Montgomery. The answer is C. Dr. Emily Stowe. In what year did the White Pass and Yukon Railway open? A. 1880. B. 1890. C. 1900. D. 1910. The answer is C. 1900. What important institution is located in Regina? A. Parliament of Canada. B. Training Academy of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. C. Supreme Court of Canada. D. Canadian Space Agency. The answer is B. Training Academy of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Who represents the sovereign at the federal level in Canada? A. The Prime Minister. B. The Lieutenant Governor. C. The Governor-General. D. The Chief Justice. The answer is C. The Governor-General. What does the term francophone mean in Canada? A. A person who speaks English as a first language. B. A person who speaks both English and French. C. A person who speaks Spanish as a first language. D. A person who speaks French as a first language. The answer is D. A person who speaks French as a first language. Which courts handle lesser offences, family issues, traffic cases, and small civil claims? A. Provincial courts. B. Federal courts. C. International courts. D. Military courts. The answer is A. Provincial courts. What police force enforces federal laws throughout Canada and serves as the provincial police in most provinces and territories? A. Municipal police. B. Provincial police. C. Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. D. Border Security Agency. The answer is C. Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP. What is the Niagara region in Ontario especially known for? A. Oil and gas. B. Vineyards, wines, and fruit crops. C. Coal mining. D. Aerospace manufacturing. The answer is B. Vineyards, wines, and fruit crops. Who was the first French-Canadian Prime Minister since Confederation? A. Pierre Trudeau. B. Sir John A. Macdonald. C. Sir Wilfrid Laurier. D. Louis Riel. The answer is C. Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Who was the first Canadian woman to practice medicine in Canada? A. Dr. Emily Stowe. B. Florence Nightingale. C. Margaret Atwood. D. Emily Carr. The answer is A. Dr. Emily Stowe. How does Canada treat those guilty of gender-based violence? A. They are given warnings only. B. They are ignored if culturally accepted. C. They are severely punished under Canada's criminal laws. D. They are sent back to their country of origin. The answer is C. They are severely punished under Canada's criminal laws. Which region in BC is famous for fruit orchards and wine production? A. Vancouver Island. B. The Rockies. C. The Okanagan Valley. D. Fraser Valley. The answer is C. The Okanagan Valley. What famous novel set in PEI tells the adventures of a little red-headed orphan girl? A. Anne of Green Gables. B. Little Women. C. Emily of New Moon. D. The Secret Garden. The answer is A. Anne of Green Gables. What did the Quebec Act of 1774 allow Catholics in the province to do? A. Vote in Britain. B. Have religious freedom and hold public office. C. Abolish British criminal law. D. Establish a separate parliament. The answer is B. Have religious freedom and hold public office. What is the largest freshwater lake in the world, located between Ontario and the United States? A. Lake Erie. B. Lake Huron. C. Lake Michigan. D. Lake Superior. The answer is D. Lake Superior. What championship trophy do NHL teams compete for? A. Grey Cup. B. Memorial Cup. C. Stanley Cup. D. Clarkson Cup. The answer is C. Stanley Cup. What did Lord Durham recommend after the rebellions in Upper and Lower Canada? A. That Canada should become independent from Britain. B. That Upper and Lower Canada be merged and given responsible government. C. That only Britain should make decisions for Canada. D. That French Canadians should rule over English Canadians. The answer is B. That Upper and Lower Canada be merged and given responsible government. What major battle in April 1917 secured Canada's reputation for valour as the shock troops of the British Empire? A. Battle of Vimy Ridge. B. Battle of the Somme. C. Battle of Ypres. D. Battle of Passchendaele. The answer is A. Battle of Vimy Ridge. Which level of government is responsible for national defense, foreign policy, and citizenship? A. Provincial and territorial. B. Municipal, local. C. Federal. D. Regional. The answer is C. Federal. Approximately how many Canadians were killed in the Second World War? A. 25,000. B. 44,000. C. 60,000. D. 100,000. The answer is B. 44,000. If you cannot vote on election day, what are the two alternatives? A. Online voting or phone voting. B. Advance polls or special ballot. C. Voting by email or fax. D. Asking someone else to vote for you. The answer is B. Advance polls or special ballot. What are official awards that recognize outstanding citizens in Canada called? A. Certificates. B. Trophies. C. Honours. D. Titles. The answer is C. Honours. What are members of the legislature called in Newfoundland and Labrador? A. Malays, members of the Legislative Assembly. B. MNAs, members of the National Assembly. C. MPPs, members of Provincial Parliament. D. MHAs, members of the House of Assembly. The answer is D. MHAs, members of the House of Assembly. In what year was the new Canadian flag raised for the first time? A. 1921. B. 1876. C. 1965. D. 1982. The answer is C. 1965. What is it called when the governing party holds at least half of the seats in the House of Commons? A. Coalition government. B. Minority government. C. Responsible government. D. Majority government. The answer is D. Majority government. In each province, whose role is similar to that of the Prime Minister at the federal level? A. The Lieutenant Governor. B. The Premier. C. The Commissioner. D. The Mayor. The answer is B. The Premier. What must you do to mark your choice on the ballot? A. Circle the candidate's name. B. Write the candidate's initials. C. Mark an X in the circle next to the candidate's name. D. Sign your name on the ballot. The answer is C. Mark an X in the circle next to the candidate's name. Who holds major responsibilities on First Nations reserves in Canada? A. Band chiefs and councillors. B. Mayors and councillors. C. Premiers and ministers. D. Governors and senators. The answer is A. Band chiefs and councillors. What is the capital city of Alberta? A. Calgary. B. Red Deer. C. Edmonton. D. Saskatoon. The answer is C. Edmonton. About how many First Nations communities exist in Canada today? A. 200. B. 400. C. 600. D. 800. The answer is C. 600. Which company came to dominate the fur trade in the Northwest? A. Northwest Company. B. East India Company. C. Canadian Pacific Railway. D. Hudson's Bay Company. The answer is D. Hudson's Bay Company. Who do Canadians vote for in federal elections? A. Members of the House of Commons, MPs. B. Senators. C. Governors General. D. Judges. The answer is A. Members of the House of Commons, MPs. Who was the First Nations leader that supported the British during the War of 1812? A. Pontiac. B. Chief Tecumseh. C. Sitting Bull. D. Louis Riel. The answer is B. Chief Tecumseh. What was created in 1840 when Upper and Lower Canada were united? A. Dominion of Canada. B. Confederation. C. Province of Canada. D. British North America Act. The answer is C. Province of Canada. What is the name of the Viking settlement in Newfoundland that is now a World Heritage Site? A. Vinland. B. Lance Auxiliary Meadows. C. Port Royal. D. Louisbourg. The answer is B. Lance Auxiliary Meadows. Along which river do the majority of Quebecers live? A. Ottawa River. B. St. Lawrence River. C. Fraser River. D. St. John River. The answer is B. St. Lawrence River. Who invented basketball in 1891? A. James Naismith. B. Wayne Gretzky. C. Donovan Bailey. D. Chantal Petitclerc. The answer is A. James Naismith. What is the fleur-de-lis? A. A type of maple tree. B. A red cross. C. A lily flower symbol. D. A provincial flag. The answer is C. A lily flower symbol. What is the capital of Nova Scotia and home to Canada's largest naval base? A. St. John's. B. Charlottetown. C. Fredericton. D. Halifax. The answer is D. Halifax. When is Labor Day celebrated in Canada? A. July 1. B. First Monday of September. C. November 11. D. December 25. The answer is B. First Monday of September. What is the approximate population of Yellowknife? A. 10,000. B. 15,000. C. 20,000. D. 25,000. The answer is C. 20,000. What is the capital of Saskatchewan? A. Saskatoon. B. Regina. C. Moose Jaw. D. Prince Albert. The answer is B. Regina. What is the opposition party with the most members in the House of Commons called? A. The minority opposition. B. The Senate opposition. C. The official opposition, Her Majesty's loyal opposition. D. The people's opposition. The answer is C. The official opposition, Her Majesty's loyal opposition. Which industries are historically linked to Nova Scotia? A. Shipbuilding, fisheries, and shipping. B. Aerospace, car manufacturing, and film. C. Banking, mining of gold only, and textiles. D. Electronics, tourism, and winemaking. The answer is A. Shipbuilding, fisheries, and shipping. What sport was developed in Canada in the 1800s? A. Lacrosse. B. Basketball. C. Baseball. D. Ice hockey. The answer is D. Ice hockey. What is it called when the governing party holds fewer than half of the seats in the House of Commons? A. Majority government. B. Coalition government. C. Minority government. D. Provincial government. The answer is C. Minority government. What is the second most spoken language at home in some of Canada's biggest cities after English? A. Chinese languages. B. Spanish. C. French. D. Punjabi. The answer is A. Chinese languages. What is the Clarkson Cup awarded for? A. Women's hockey. B. Junior hockey. C. Olympic hockey. D. Road hockey. The answer is A. Women's hockey. What Act, passed by the British Parliament in 1867, created the Dominion of Canada? A. The Constitution Act, 1982. B. The Royal Proclamation of 1763. C. The British North America Act. D. The Statute of Westminster, 1931. The answer is C. The British North America Act. On what day are federal elections usually held? A. First Monday in September. B. Third Monday in October. C. July 1. D. November 11. The answer is B. Third Monday in October. Which country is Canada's largest trading partner? A. Mexico. B. China. C. United Kingdom. D. United States. The answer is D. United States. Who was the English explorer that reached the Arctic in 1576, giving his name to Frobisher Bay? A. James Cook. B. Martin Frobisher. C. John Cabot. D. Henry Hudson. The answer is B. Martin Frobisher. What is the capital of Yukon? A. Whitehorse. B. Dawson City. C. Yellowknife. D. Iqaluit. The answer is A. Whitehorse. What is traditionally known as the world's longest undefended border? A. Canada-Mexico border. B. Canada-Greenland border. C. Canada-United States border. D. Atlantic Ocean coastline. The answer is C. Canada-United States border. What are the two parts that make up a provincial legislature? A. The Premier and the Cabinet. B. The Lieutenant Governor and the elected Assembly. C. The Senate and the House of Commons. D. The Sovereign and the Supreme Court. The answer is B. The Lieutenant Governor and the elected Assembly. What are the laws passed by municipal governments called? A. Statutes. B. Regulations. C. Bylaws. D. Acts. The answer is C. Bylaws. What happens if cabinet ministers lose a non-confidence vote in the House of Commons? A. They must resign. B. They stay in office until the next election. C. They appeal to the Governor-General. D. They automatically form a coalition government. The answer is A. They must resign. Which sport is considered Canada's national sport? A. Lacrosse. B. Basketball. C. Ice hockey. D. Soccer. The answer is C. Ice hockey. Which was the first British North American colony to attain full responsible government? A. Nova Scotia. B. Quebec. C. Ontario. D. New Brunswick. The answer is A. Nova Scotia. What are the two official languages of Canada recognized in the Official Languages Act? A. English and French. B. English and Spanish. C. English and Indigenous languages. D. French and German. The answer is A. English and French. Approximately how many people live in Ontario? A. 8 million. B. 10 million. C. More than 12 million. D. 15 million. The answer is C. More than 12 million. How many provincial parks does British Columbia have approximately? A. 200. B. 400. C. 600. D. 800. The answer is C. 600. Which province has the largest Aboriginal population in Canada, at over 15%? A. Saskatchewan. B. Manitoba. C. Alberta. D. Ontario. The answer is B. Manitoba. Who was the monarch at the time of Confederation in 1867? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. King George III. C. King Edward VII. D. Queen Victoria. The answer is D. Queen Victoria. Which of the following is not one of the objectives of the Official Languages Act? A. Establish equality between French and English in Parliament and the Government of Canada. B. Maintain and develop official language minority communities in Canada. C. Make French the only official language of Quebec. D. Promote equality of French and English in Canadian society. The answer is C. Make French the only official language of Quebec. What principle ensures that no person or group is above the law in Canada? A. Democracy. B. Rule of law. C. Majority rule. D. Parliamentary sovereignty. The answer is B. Rule of law. What major agricultural activity is Alberta especially famous for? A. Cattle ranching. B. Wheat farming. C. Potato farming. D. Fruit orchards. The answer is A. Cattle ranching. Who was Lieutenant Colonel John Graves Simcoe? A. The first Prime Minister of Canada. B. The first Chief Justice of Canada. C. Upper Canada's first Lieutenant Governor and founder of the City of York, now Toronto. D. A. Governor-General of Canada. The answer is C. Upper Canada's first Lieutenant Governor and founder of the City of York, now Toronto. Who selects cabinet ministers in the federal government? A. The Senate. B. The Prime Minister. C. The Governor-General. D. The House of Commons. The answer is B. the Prime Minister. What are the two official languages of Canada? A. English and Spanish. B. French and German. C. English and Italian. D. English and French. The answer is D. English and French. What country shares the southern boundary with Canada? A. Mexico. B. Greenland. C. United States. D. Russia. The answer is C. United States. Which natural resources are found in the world's richest deposits in Saskatchewan? A. Uranium and potash. B. Coal and copper. C. Gold and silver. D. Iron and zinc. The answer is A. Uranium and potash. When was Nunavut created as a territory of Canada? A. 1975. B. 1982. C. 1993. D. 1999. The answer is D. 1999. What is the largest city, port, and manufacturing center in New Brunswick? A. Moncton. B. Fredericton. C. Halifax. D. St. John. The answer is D. St. John. Who proclaimed the amended Constitution of Canada in 1982? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. The Prime Minister of Canada. C. The Governor-General. D. The Chief Justice of Canada. The answer is A. Queen Elizabeth II. Which province was the first to grant women the right to vote, and in what year? A. Ontario, 1917. B. Quebec, 1921. C. Manitoba, 1916. D. Alberta, 1918. The answer is C. Manitoba, 1916. Which of the following sectors provides the majority of jobs in Canada today? A. Natural resources. B. Service industries. C. Manufacturing. D. Farming. The answer is B. Service industries. Who is said to have adopted the fleur-de-lis as a symbol in the year 496? A. The British King. B. The Pope. C. The French King. D. The Governor-General. The answer is C. The French King. Prince Edward Island is especially known for the production of which crop? A. Wheat. B. Potatoes. C. Corn. D. Apples. The answer is B. Potatoes. What was the name of the weekly newspaper Mary Ann Shadd Cary helped to found and edit? A. The Provincial Freeman. B. The Canadian Times. C. The Black Press. D. The Liberty Herald. The answer is A. The Provincial Freeman. In each province, whose role is similar to that of the Governor-General at the federal level? A. The Premier. B. The Lieutenant Governor. C. The Commissioner. D. The Speaker of the House. The answer is B. The Lieutenant Governor. What natural feature in Nova Scotia is famous for having the world's highest tides? A. Bay of Fundy. B. Hudson Bay. C. Gulf of St. Lawrence. D. Lake Superior. The answer is A. Bay of Fundy. Which national park in Alberta was established in 1885, making it Canada's oldest? A. Jasper National Park. B. Waterton Lakes National Park. C. Banff National Park. D. Elk Island National Park. The answer is C. Banff National Park. What modern industries contribute significantly to the economy of Newfoundland and Labrador? A. Offshore oil and gas extraction, and hydroelectric resources. B. Film industry and fashion design. C. Tourism and agriculture only. D. Mining of gold and diamonds exclusively. The answer is A. Offshore oil and gas extraction, and hydroelectric resources. At what minimum age can Canadian citizens run in a federal election? A. 16. B. 18. C. 21. D. 25. The answer is B. 18. John Cabot, who mapped Canada's Atlantic shore, was originally from A. France. B. Spain. C. Italy. D. Scotland. The answer is C. Italy. What do Aboriginal peoples' rights under the Charter guarantee? A. That Aboriginal peoples must give up treaty rights. B. That the Charter will not adversely affect treaty or other rights and freedoms of Aboriginal peoples. C. That Aboriginal peoples must speak English or French only. D. That Aboriginal peoples cannot participate in Parliament. The answer is B. That the Charter will not adversely affect treaty or other rights and freedoms of Aboriginal peoples. In what year did the British Parliament abolish slavery throughout the Empire? A. 1793. B. 1807. C. 1833. D. 1867. The answer is C. 1833. What type of government system makes Canada unique in North America? A. A republic. B. A constitutional monarchy. C. A dictatorship. D. A presidential democracy. The answer is B. A constitutional monarchy. What is the official royal flag of Canada? A. Canadian Red Ensign. B. Maple Leaf Flag. C. Union Jack. D. Provincial Flags. The answer is C. Union Jack. Who was the first black man to be awarded the Victoria Cross? A. Robert Hampton Gray. B. William Hall. C. Philip Connowell. D. Billy Bishop. The answer is B. William Hall. In which provinces do provincial police forces exist? A. British Columbia and Alberta. B. Manitoba and Saskatchewan. C. Newfoundland and Nova Scotia. D. Ontario and Quebec. The answer is D. Ontario and Quebec. How many national parks are in Alberta? A. 3. B. 5. C. 7. D. 10. The answer is B. 5. From where to where does the White Pass and Yukon Railway run? A. Vancouver to Dawson City. B. Edmonton to Whitehorse. C. Skagway, Alaska to Whitehorse. D. Calgary to Yellowknife. The answer is C. Skagway, Alaska to Whitehorse. What are the principal industries of New Brunswick? A. Aerospace, banking, technology, and film. B. Forestry, agriculture, fisheries, mining, food processing, and tourism. C. Electronics, winemaking, fashion, and car manufacturing. D. Oil refining, construction, and aviation. The answer is B. Forestry, agriculture, fisheries, mining, food processing, and tourism. In what year did the Government of Canada officially apologize for the head tax policy? A. 1982. B. 1999. C. 2006. D. 2017. The answer is C. 2006. In what year did Terry Fox begin his cross-country run, the Marathon of Hope? A. 1975. B. 1980. C. 1985. D. 1990. The answer is B. 1980. Which document of 1763 first guaranteed territorial rights for Indigenous peoples? A. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms. B. The Royal Proclamation of 1763. C. The Constitutional Act of 1791. D. The Official Languages Act. The answer is B. The Royal Proclamation of 1763. Which Canadian athlete became a world record sprinter and double Olympic gold medalist in 1996? A. James Naismith. B. Wayne Gretzky. C. Donovan Bailey. D. Chantal Petitclerc. The answer is C. Donovan Bailey. Who discovered insulin, a treatment for diabetes, in Canada? A. Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best. B. Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison. C. Joseph Armand Bombardier and Sandford Fleming. D. John A. MacDonald and George Etienne Cartier. The answer is A. Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best. Which industries employ many people in Ontario and produce a large percentage of Canada's exports? A. Tourism and aerospace. B. Agriculture and mining. C. Forestry and shipbuilding. D. Service and manufacturing. The answer is D. Service and manufacturing. What are people called who run for office in a federal election? A. Members of Parliament. B. Voters. C. Candidates. D. Senators. The answer is C. Candidates. What does Canadian law guarantee about men and women? A. Men and women are equal under the law. B. Men have more rights than women. C. Women have more rights than men. D. Rights depend on cultural traditions. The answer is A. Men and women are equal under the law. What do mobility rights allow Canadians to do? A. Live and work anywhere in Canada. B. Enter and leave the country freely. C. Apply for a passport. D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. When is Thanksgiving Day celebrated in Canada? A. First Monday of September. B. November 11. C. Second Monday of October. D. December 25. The answer is C. Second Monday of October. What free trade agreement did Canada sign with the United States in 1988, which later included Mexico in 1994? A. North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. B. Trans-Pacific Partnership, TPP. C. Canada-Europe Trade Agreement, CETA. D. World Trade Organization, WTO. The answer is A. North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. What is the main first language of more than 3/4 of Quebec's population? A. English. B. Spanish. C. Italian. D. French. The answer is D. French. What is considered Canada's best-known symbol? A. The beaver. B. The fleur-de-lis. C. The Union Jack. D. The maple leaf. The answer is D. The maple leaf. What is another name sometimes used for the trial court in provinces? A. Court of Appeals. B. Court of Queen's Bench or the Supreme Court. C. Family Court. D. Federal Court. The answer is B. Court of Queen's Bench or the Supreme Court. Saskatchewan is the country's largest producer of which products? A. Fruits and vegetables. B. Grains and oilseeds. C. Fish and forestry products. D. Dairy and beef. The answer is B. Grains and oilseeds. Why is Yellowknife known as the diamond capital of North America? A. Because of its gold mining industry. B. Because of its jewelry manufacturing. C. Because of its diamond mining industry. D. Because of its cultural festivals. The answer is C. Because of its diamond mining industry. What is the smallest province in Canada? A. Nova Scotia. B. Prince Edward Island. C. Newfoundland and Labrador. D. New Brunswick. The answer is B. Prince Edward Island. Who suggested the term Dominion of Canada in 1864? A. Sir John A. Macdonald. B. George Etienne Cartier. C. Sir Leonard Tilley. D. Samuel de Champlain. The answer is C. Sir Leonard Tilley. How are members of the House of Commons chosen? A. Appointed by the Prime Minister. B. Appointed by the Governor-General. C. Elected by the people, traditionally every 4 years. D. selected by provincial legislatures. The answer is C. Elected by the people, traditionally every 4 years. Who became the first woman elected as a Member of Parliament in Canada in 1921? A. Nellie McClung. B. Agnes MacPhail. C. Emily Stowe. D. Lucy Maud Montgomery. The answer is B. Agnes MacPhail. Which neighbourhood in Winnipeg is known as the French Quarter and is home to Western Canada's largest francophone community? A. St. James. B. Fort Garry. C. Osborne Village. D. St. Boniface. The answer is D. St. Boniface. What is the royal anthem of Canada? A. O Canada. B. God Save the Queen, or King. C. The Maple Leaf Forever. D. Land of the Free. The answer is B. God Save the Queen, or King. What are the main economic activities of Manitoba? A. Aerospace, tourism, and film production. B. Oil refining, car manufacturing, and banking. C. Agriculture, mining, and hydroelectric power generation. D. Forestry, shipbuilding, and textiles. The answer is C. Agriculture, mining, and hydroelectric power generation. What role does the sovereign play in Canada? A. Directs the government. B. Plays a nonpartisan, symbolic role. C. Leads the House of Commons. D. Commands the military. The answer is B. Plays a nonpartisan, symbolic role. How many members are in Nunavut's Legislative Assembly? A. 12. B. 19. C. 25. D. 30. The answer is B. 19. Who can ask the Governor-General to call an earlier federal election? A. The Chief Electoral Officer. B. Members of Parliament. C. The Prime Minister. D. The Senate. The answer is C. The Prime Minister. After English, which languages are most spoken in the cities of BC due to large Asian communities? A. Japanese and Korean. B. Hindi and Tagalog. C. Chinese and Punjabi. D. Arabic and Farsi. The answer is C. Chinese and Punjabi. Which three oceans border Canada? A. Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic. B. Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific. C. Pacific, Arctic, and Indian. D. Atlantic, Southern, and Arctic. The answer is A. Pacific, Atlantic, and Arctic. Which industries include forestry, fishing, agriculture, mining, and energy? A. Service industries. B. Natural resources industries. C. Manufacturing industries. D. Technology industries. The answer is B. Natural resources industries. How many Canadians died in the Boer War? A. 100. B. Over 260. C. 500. D. Over 1,000. The answer is B. Over 260. What kinds of farming are common in Ontario? A. Dairy and beef cattle, poultry, vegetables, and grain crops. B. Coffee, cocoa, and sugarcane. C. Rice and tea plantations. D. Cotton and tobacco. The answer is A. Dairy and beef cattle, poultry, vegetables, and grain crops. Who is remembered as a heroine for warning Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon of an American attack in 1813? A. Laura Secord. B. Emily Murphy. C. Lucy Maud Montgomery. D. Agnes MacPhail. The answer is A. Laura Secord. Which level of government is mainly responsible for education and health care? A. Federal. B. Municipal. C. Provincial and territorial. D. International. The answer is C. Provincial and territorial. Which are some of the largest ethnic and religious groups in Canada? A. English, French, Scottish, Irish, German, Italian, Chinese, Aboriginal, Ukrainian, Dutch, South Asian, and Scandinavian. B. Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, Brazilian, Japanese, and Korean. C. Only English and French. D. African, Australian, and Middle Eastern. The answer is A. English, French, Scottish, Irish, German, Italian, Chinese, Aboriginal, Ukrainian, Dutch, South Asian, and Scandinavian. What are some of Quebec's important industries supported by the Canadian Shield? A. Aerospace, film, and tourism. B. Forestry, energy, and mining. C. Banking, agriculture, and car manufacturing. D. Electronics, textiles, and wine. The answer is B. Forestry, energy, and mining. What cultural traditions help sustain Nova Scotia's vibrant culture? A. French and Spanish traditions. B. German and Dutch traditions. C. Celtic and Gaelic traditions. D. Scandinavian and Russian traditions. The answer is C. Celtic and Gaelic traditions. What does the word Inuit mean in the Inuktitut language? A. The people. B. The land. C. The north. D. The hunters. The answer is A. The people. What event brought thousands of miners to the Yukon in the 1890s? A. The silver boom. B. The oil rush. C. The gold rush. D. The railway expansion. The answer is C. The gold rush. What is the coldest temperature ever recorded in Canada, measured in the Yukon? A. 45 degrees C. B. 55 degrees C. C. 63 degrees C. D. 70 degrees C. The answer is C. 63 degrees C. What did the Constitutional Act of 1791 do to the province of Quebec? A. United it with Nova Scotia. B. divided it into Upper Canada and Lower Canada. C. Gave it independence from Britain. D. Made French the only official language. The answer is B. Divided it into Upper Canada and Lower Canada. In which battles did Canadians fight during the Boer War? A. Partibug, Horse Mountain, and Lillefontaine. B. Vimy Ridge and Passchendaele. C. Quebec and Louisbourg. D. Dieppe and Juno Beach. The answer is A. Partibug, Horse Mountain, and Lillefontaine. What are members of the House of Commons also called? A. Ministers. B. Premiers. C. Members of Parliament, MPs. D. Councillors. The answer is C. Members of Parliament, MPs. What was the Underground Railroad? A. A trade route between Canada and the U.S. B. A Christian anti-slavery network that helped thousands of slaves escape to Canada. C. A railway built in the 1800s to transport goods. D. A system of tunnels used during the War of 1812. The answer is B. A Christian anti-slavery network that helped thousands of slaves escape to Canada. What is the capital city of the Northwest Territories? A. Whitehorse. B. Iqaluit. C. Inuvik. D. Yellowknife. The answer is D. Yellowknife. After whom were both the province of Alberta and Lake Louise named? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Princess Louise Caroline Alberta. C. Queen Victoria. D. Princess Margaret. The answer is B. Princess Louise Caroline Alberta. What phrase from Canada's original constitutional document, the British North America Act of 1867, reflects the country's values? A. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. B. Freedom, justice, and equality. C. Unity, strength, and prosperity. D. Peace, order, and good government. The answer is D. Peace, order, and good government. What does the word Nunavut mean in Inuktitut? A. Our land. B. The North. C. The people. D. Frozen land. The answer is A. Our land. What percentage of Canada's arable land is found in Saskatchewan? A. 25%. B. 30%. C. 40%. D. 50%. The answer is C. 40%. Approximately how many Canadians were killed in the First World War? A. 30,000. B. 60,000. C. 100,000. D. 170,000. The answer is B. 60,000. The term Aboriginal peoples in Canada refers to which three distinct groups? A. First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. B. First Nations, Acadians, and French Canadians. C. Inuit, Métis, and Europeans. D. Métis, Acadians, and Loyalists. The answer is A. First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. In the three territories, who represents the federal government and plays a ceremonial role? A. The Premier. B. The Lieutenant Governor. C. The Commissioner. D. The Prime Minister. The answer is C. The Commissioner. What was the national dream fulfilled by the Canadian Pacific Railway? A. Independence from Britain. B. Uniting Canada with ribbons of steel. C. Winning the First World War. D. Joining the Commonwealth. The answer is B. Uniting Canada with ribbons of steel. In what year did Mary Ann Shadd Cary become the first woman publisher in Canada? A. 1793. B. 1833. C. 1853. D. 1901. The answer is C. 1853. What are elected representatives in Canada responsible for? A. Only representing their province. B. Writing the Constitution. C. Appointing judges and senators. D. Passing laws, approving expenditures, and keeping the government accountable. The answer is D. Passing laws, approving expenditures, and keeping the government accountable. Does Canada have compulsory military service? A. Yes, all citizens must serve. B. No, there is no compulsory military service. C. Yes, only men must serve. D. Yes, but only during wartime. The answer is B. No, there is no compulsory military service. Why did European explorers call the native peoples Indians? A. Because they believed they had reached the East Indies. B. Because the indigenous peoples called themselves that. C. Because they came from India. D. Because the name was given by the French king. The answer is A. Because they believed they had reached the East Indies. What have natural resources contributed to in Canada? A. Only to modern tourism. B. The country's history and development. C. Sports and culture only. D. Immigration. The answer is B. The country's history and development. Which Canadian flying ace from Owen Sound, Ontario, earned the VC during the First World War? A. Alexander Roberts Dunn. B. Billy Bishop. C. Robert Hampton Gray. D. Paul Triquet. The answer is B. Billy Bishop. Who made 3 voyages across the Atlantic between 1534 and 1542, claiming land for France? A. Samuel de Champlain. B. John Cabot. C. Martin Frobisher. D. Jacques Cartier. The answer is D. Jacques Cartier. Who first adopted the maple leaf as a symbol in Canada? A. French Canadians in the 1700s. B. British settlers in Ontario. C. Indigenous peoples. D. Loyalists during the American Revolution. The answer is A. French Canadians in the 1700s. Which level of government is responsible for policing in Ontario and Quebec? A. Municipal. B. Federal. C. Provincial and territorial. D. Regional. The answer is C. Provincial and territorial. Since when have red and white been the national colors of Canada? A. 1867. B. 2000. C. 1965. D. 1921. The answer is D. 1921. What is the main role of the police in Canada? A. To write government laws. B. To keep people safe and enforce the law. C. To serve only as traffic officers. D. To act as judges in court. The answer is B. To keep people safe and enforce the law. What are the two main types of courts found in most provinces? A. Family court and traffic court. B. Appeal court and trial court. C. Supreme Court and municipal court. D. Federal court and small claims court. The answer is B. Appeal court and trial court. Which British officer was killed defending Canada at the Battle of Queenston Heights in 1812? A. Charles de Salaberry. B. Robert Ross. C. James Wolfe. D. Major General Sir Isaac Brock. The answer is D. Major General Sir Isaac Brock. Since the 1970s, from which region have most immigrants to Canada come? A. Europe. B. Africa. C. Asia. D. South America. The answer is C. Asia. How many candidates can there be in an electoral district? A. Only one. B. 2 maximum. C. Many candidates. D. None, they are appointed. The answer is C. Many candidates. What historic action did John Graves Simcoe take in Upper Canada? A. He created the first provincial police force. B. He made Upper Canada the first province in the British Empire to abolish slavery. C. He built the Rideau Canal. D. He introduced Confederation. The answer is B. He made Upper Canada the first province in the British Empire to abolish slavery. How are Canadian senators appointed, and until what age do they serve? A. Appointed by the Prime Minister, serve for life. B. Elected by the people, serve for 4 years. C. Chosen by provincial premiers, serve until retirement at 65. D. Appointed by the Governor-General on advice of the Prime Minister, serve until age 75. The answer is D. Appointed by the Governor-General on advice of the Prime Minister, serve until age 75. Who is known as one of the greatest hockey players of all time? A. Wayne Gretzky. B. Donovan Bailey. C. James Naismith. D. Chantal Petitclerc. The answer is A. Wayne Gretzky. What do official language rights and minority language educational rights guarantee? A. That all Canadians must speak English only. B. That French and English have equal status in Parliament and government. C. That French is superior to English in Quebec. D. that Canadians must choose one language at school? The answer is B. That French and English have equal status in Parliament and government. Which of the following describes Upper Canada after 1791? A. Catholic and French-speaking. B. Mainly Indigenous lands. C. French-speaking and Catholic. D. Mainly Loyalist, Protestant, and English-speaking. The answer is D. Mainly Loyalist, Protestant, and English-speaking. Which is Canada's westernmost province? A. Alberta. B. Yukon. C. British Columbia. D. Saskatchewan. The answer is C. British Columbia. What are electoral districts in Canada also called? A. Ridings or constituencies. B. Provinces. C. Counties. D. Territories. The answer is A. Ridings or constituencies. Which levels of government exist in Canada? A. Federal, municipal, and international. B. Federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal. C. Provincial, city, and regional. D. Local, national, and global. The answer is B. Federal, provincial, territorial, and municipal. What is the final step for a bill to become law in Canada? A. Committee stage. B. Third reading. C. Senate. D. Royal assent. The answer is D. Royal assent. What was the purpose of the Marathon of Hope? A. To promote Canadian tourism. B. To raise money for cancer research. C. To celebrate Canada Day. D. To support Canadian athletes. The answer is B. To raise money for cancer research. Who are the elected officials at the municipal, local, level? A. Mayor or reeve and councillors or aldermen. B. Members of Parliament, MPs. C. Members of the Provincial Parliament, MPPs. A. Senators. The answer is A. Mayor or reeve and councillors or aldermen. What was Agnes MacPhail's profession before becoming an MP? A. Doctor. B. Writer. C. Farmer and teacher. D. Lawyer. The answer is C. Farmer and teacher. Which three founding peoples are important to understanding what it means to be Canadian? A. Aboriginal, French, and British. B. English, Irish, and Scottish. C. French, German, and Dutch. D. Aboriginal, American, and Spanish. The answer is A. Aboriginal, French, and British. What inspired Sir Leonard Tilley to propose the name Dominion of Canada? A. A speech in the British Parliament. B. A phrase from the Magna Carta. C. Psalm 72 in the Bible referring to dominion from sea to sea. D. A letter from Queen Victoria. The answer is C. Psalm 72 in the Bible referring to dominion from sea to sea. . From which institution's flag was the red-white-red pattern of the Canadian flag derived? A. Royal Military College, Kingston. B. Parliament of Canada. C. British North America Act. D. Canadian Armed Forces. The answer is A. Royal Military College, Kingston. What is the capital city of British Columbia? A. Vancouver. B. Victoria. C. Surrey. D. Kelowna. The answer is B. Victoria. In what year did English settlement in Canada begin? A. 1497. B. 1534. C. 1610. D. 1763. The answer is C. 1610. On what date was the Dominion of Canada officially born? A. July 1, 1867. B. June 30, 1867. C. August 1, 1867. D. July 4, 1867. The answer is A. July 1, 1867. Which industries produce goods like automobiles, machinery, and food? A. Natural resources. B. Service. C. Manufacturing. D. Tourism. The answer is C. Manufacturing. What name did the first European explorers give to the native peoples of Canada? A. Inuit. B. Indians. C. Métis. D. First Nations. The answer is B. Indians. What does the Iroquoian word Canada mean? A. Village. B. River. C. Land. D. People. The answer is A. Village. Which province was once known as the breadbasket of the world and the wheat province? A. Manitoba. B. Alberta. C. Saskatchewan. D. Ontario. The answer is C. Saskatchewan. What must happen before a bill can become law in Canada? A. It must be passed by the House of Commons only. B. It must be passed by the Senate only. C. It must be approved by the Prime Minister and Cabinet. D. It must be passed by both chambers and receive royal assent from the Governor-General. The answer is D. It must be passed by both chambers and receive royal assent from the Governor-General. Who is the head of state in Canada? A. The Sovereign, Queen or King. B. The Prime Minister. C. The Governor-General. D. The Lieutenant Governor. The answer is A. The Sovereign, Queen or King. Captain Paul Triquet of Quebec earned the VC in 1943 during which battle? A. The Battle of Vimy Ridge. B. The attack on Casa Berardi in Italy. C. The Battle of Britain. D. The Siege of Lucknow. The answer is B. The attack on Casa Berardi in Italy. How do poets and songwriters often refer to Canada? A. The Great Nation. B. The True North. C. the Great Dominion. D. The Maple Land. The answer is C. The Great Dominion. How many electoral districts, ridings, was Canada divided into at the time of this reference? A. 100. B. 205. C. 308. D. 400. The answer is C. 308. Which of the following is one of the responsibilities of Canadian citizenship? A. Obeying the law. B. Serving on a jury. C. Voting in elections. D. Helping others in the community. E. All of the above. The answer is E. All of the above. What controversial recommendation did Lord Durham make about French Canadians? A. That they should form their own country. B. That they should convert to Catholicism. C. That they should assimilate into English-speaking Protestant culture. D. That they should move to New Brunswick. The answer is C. That they should assimilate into English-speaking Protestant culture. Escaped slaves from the United States followed which guide to find freedom in Canada? A. The Big Dipper. B. The North Star. C. The Southern Cross. D. The Milky Way. The answer is B. The North Star. What responsibility do Canadians have toward their heritage and environment? A. To avoid pollution and protect natural, cultural, and architectural heritage. B. To only focus on economic development. C. To allow only the government to take care of heritage. D. To ignore past traditions. The answer is A. To avoid pollution and protect natural, cultural, and architectural heritage. Who played a key role in women obtaining the right to vote in Quebec? A. Emily Carr. B. Lucy Maud Montgomery. C. Therese Casgrain. D. Margaret Atwood. The answer is C. Therese Casgrain. What city did John Graves Simcoe found? A. Ottawa. B. Montreal. C. York, now Toronto. D. Halifax. The answer is C. York, now Toronto. When were the Northwest Territories originally created from Rupert's Land and the Northwestern Territory? A. 1867. B. 1870. C. 1885. D. 1905. The answer is B. 1870. What does multiculturalism mean in the Canadian Charter? A. That Canadians must all share the same cultural traditions. B. That only two cultures are officially recognized in Canada. C. That immigration is limited to certain groups. D. That multiculturalism is a fundamental part of Canadian heritage and identity. The answer is D. That multiculturalism is a fundamental part of Canadian heritage and identity. What was July 1 called before it became officially known as Canada Day in 1982? A. Founders' Day. B. Dominion Day. C. Confederation Day. D. Freedom Day. The answer is B. Dominion Day. Which is the most populous prairie province? A. Manitoba. B. Saskatchewan, C. Alberta, D. British Columbia. The answer is C. Alberta. Which of the following is not one of the three groups included under the term Aboriginal peoples? A. First Nations, B. Inuit, C. Métis, D. Acadians. The answer is D. Acadians. Who was Mary Ann Shadd Carey? A. The first woman publisher in Canada and an outspoken activist in the abolition movement. B. The first female member of Parliament in Canada. C. The first woman judge in Canada. D. A famous Canadian poet in the 1800s. The answer is A. The first woman publisher in Canada and an outspoken activist in the abolition movement. What type of matters does the Federal Court of Canada deal with? A. Municipal government matters. B. Provincial government matters. C. Federal government matters. D. International law matters. The answer is C. Federal government matters. What naval fleet has its headquarters in Victoria? A. Atlantic Fleet, B. Pacific Fleet, C. Arctic Fleet, D. Reserve Fleet. The answer is B. Pacific Fleet. Who circled the globe in a wheelchair in 1985 to raise funds for spinal cord research? A. Terry Fox, B. Wayne Gretzky, C. John A. MacDonald, D. Rick Hansen. The answer is D. Rick Hansen. What is the north of Canada often called because of its long summer daylight? A. The frozen land, B. The Arctic desert, C. The land of the midnight sun, D. The Great White North. The answer is C. The land of the midnight sun.